Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees for today's Bhakti Shastri class. Let us start the class with the Mangalacharan. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Today we are continuing to lesson number 8. Shri Shri Radha Govind ki jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the 7th lesson, we have studied about the glories of worship of the deity, that is deity worship, and also offered prayers to Krishna, discussed the significance of Laulyam and Lalasamai, the 3 types of prayers, and described the appropriate attitude towards the suffering in this one's life with reference to nectar of devotion, and discussed the general principle drawn from the examples of South Indian Brahmana, that is Manasa Puja, and how these principles can be applied in our life. All these things we have studied in the last class. Today, continuing to the next chapter, lesson 8, aspects of transcendental service. So today we will be completing the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Next we will be continuing to the next level in the next week. So the 64 items will be ended today. That is with the study of Panchanga Bhakti. That is 5 potent forms of Bhakti. This is the chart which I have already seen in the beginning. There are 64 items in the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, and among them 20 are most important. In that 10 are Pravritti and remaining 10 are Nivritti, do's and don'ts. And 44 additional items are there. That is items of sadhana. And the last 5 items, they are again most important. They are called as Pancha Anga Bhakti, where practicing these Pancha Anga Bhakti, one can advance in Krishna consciousness very fast. That is the 5 most potent items of sadhana bhakti. That is the main point to be discussed today. In the last class, we have studied about the darshan of the Lord, that is taking the Lord's darshan every day. One point we have not discussed, that is going to temple to see the Lord. It is not only we are seeing the Lord is also glancing his merciful glances on us. So it is not only we are going to see the Lord, we are coming under the mercy of the Lord the glance of the Lord when we visit the temple. So from both sides, it is benefiting. When we see the beautiful form of the Lord, then our attraction towards this material world will be minimized. And as we get more and more attracted towards the Lord, we can forget the temporary enjoyment of this material world. And at the same time, when we come under the vision of the Lord, then the Lord is always merciful towards the fallen conditioned soul. Whoever surrenders to him, he will give the shelter. So just by sitting under the glances of the Lord, it will give a lot of spiritual benefit for the devotee. So it is recommended to sit in front of the Lord, and you can chant or read. A devotee can take the advantage of being in the temple when we go there. So as much as possible, a person should take the darshan of the Lord. Now, these are the things which we have come across in the 6th chapter, starting from 6th chapter, how to discharge devotional service, listing of all the 64 items. And then we will be continuing here the further aspects, and then the 5 potent forms of devotional service. As stated in the beginning, the regulative principle of devotional service enjoins that all of our senses must be employed in the service of the Lord. Exactly how can be thus employed is described in the above 64 items. Now, why these 64 items are given? It is for engaging everyone in the service of the Lord. Every devotee may not like to do the service to the Lord in a same particular manner. For a new devotee, when he comes to the temple, if we ask him to say, just sit and chant, that may not be possible for that person. So in that case, what we can do, we can give n number of services in the temple. The person can clean the temple, one can arrange the books for books in the temple, or a person can learn to play the kartal or do the kirtan. All these things, they will give so many varieties of services. So these 64 items are limbs of bhakti. It will engage the person in one or the other way. So if the person is not willing to chant 16 rounds daily in the beginning itself, he may start with 1 or 2 rounds, and still the person is not, he has even enough time he has, but the problem is he is not able to concentrate on chanting or reading all these things. So what can be done? We can give varieties of services. So these services are facilitated through these 64 items of bhakti. As soon as a person comes to the temple, we must see that the person gets some engagement in the service of the Lord. Whatever service he gets, through that itself, the person will get advancement in the spiritual life. His spiritual life will be beginning. We cannot say, unless you start chanting, your spiritual life will not advance or you cannot proceed. That is not possible. Any person, different people will have different tendencies. Somebody may be very helpful for the people. They want to help. So people are going for book distribution, and he also comes along with. And he may drive the vehicle, or he may be helping in lifting the boxes, the cartons, and keeping the books for display, or cleaning the place, or making arrangement, the tables. Or somebody has good influence, he can help in taking the permissions for Rath Yatra or Kirtans. Like that, there are so many ways the person can get engaged in the service of the Lord. So ultimately, what is the purpose? Yena kena prakarena mana Krishna nivashayat. Somehow or other, the person should be engaged in the service of the Lord. Actually, that is the constitutional position of the jiva. What is constitutional position? We are meant for serving Krishna. Jivera Sarupohaya, Krishnera Nityadasa. One can realize this practically. We may try in so many ways in the material world to become happy by possessing so many material things, but none of them will give complete satisfaction. They will give only some flickering happiness in the beginning, but after some time, the person will feel it boring or it is not giving the real happiness. But when a person engages himself in the service of the Lord, any small service also, it gives a kind of satisfaction, a completeness, complete fulfillment of the satisfaction. The completely he will feel that I'm happy in this service. So that is the power of service to Krishna. Unless a person is very sinful, the person will definitely take pleasure in serving the Lord. One who is offender, one who is intentionally creating problems, such people may not be able to take the advantage of such opportunity. But otherwise, it is always good to engage in the service of Krishna. Anybody would like to read can raise their hand. Anu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Varna Ashrama Dharma in Sadhana Bhakti. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.20.9, the Lord himself says, one should execute the prescribed duties of Varna and Ashrama as long as he has not developed spontaneous attachment for hearing about my pastimes and activities. All of these things are recommended for persons who have not developed Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, what is the contribution of Varna and Ashrama for advancing in Bhakti? That is being described here. There are 4 Varna and there are 4 Ashrama. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagashaha. Krishna himself told. Krishna himself has created this Varna and Ashrama. But unfortunately, presently, it has become like a caste system where it will be used in the politics to break the people and make some vote bank, all such things. It is being used. That is an unfortunate condition. But otherwise, these 4 things, that is 4 Ashrama and 4 Varna, they are made by Krishna himself. So it cannot be destroyed at any point. It has its own purpose. And it is present all over the world. It is not only in India or not only for the people who follow the Vedic system. It is for everyone. Everyone must follow Varna and Ashrama. Unless a civilization follows Varna and Ashrama, they will not be able to live like human being. It will be like a animal civilization. They will not be able to live peacefully. So this we have already discussed once, how these 4 Varna and Ashrama are present everywhere among human beings. If you see the Brahmacharya life, it may not be exactly like Gurukula system, which were there earlier, but there is a period in which the children will be taking the education. That is the Brahmacharya ashram. And Grahastha ashrama to be remain peacefully in the society by taking certain duties and responsibilities and living happily, trying to become happy in the material life. That is the Grahastha ashrama. And when a person completes all his duties towards his family, then one goes to the Vanaprastha ashrama. It is called retired life. Even though there is no Vanaprastha at this point of time, still we have the retired life where people will be sent back to home and they will not be able to continue their working. And then sannyasa ashrama hardly we can see, but at the same time, the person has the tendency for understanding what is spirituality. When the person comes to an old age, there is more chances for him to think towards advancement of spirituality. So that is a gradual process. Similarly, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahmanas are there everywhere. It may not be called as Brahmanas. Anybody who gives the direction for the society, the person who is intellectual, he is a Brahmana. One who is able to think before acting, he is a Brahmana. One who is able to solve the problems of the society, he is a Brahmana. And Kshatriya, definitely Kshatriyas are needed in the society. They will protect all the civilization. Everyone needs them. The police, the law and order, the military, all these comes under Kshatriyas. And then Vaishyas, they are definitely needed for economic development. They make the business and they bring the money. They give the job for others. And the Shudras are needed for serving all other people. Without a Shudra, neither Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya can work. They all need the help of Shudra. So all the four members are there in the society, either it is India or America or Russia, wherever it may be. These four categories are there everywhere. So Krishna told Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam, it is for everyone. It is not for only for a certain category of people. Now, what is the contribution of this Varna and Ashrama for Bhakti? This Varnashrama is like a stepping stone towards the perfection of spiritual life. What is stepping stone? Stepping stone means, see now, it is a rainy season. So everywhere water is there. Now, when you want to walk a certain distance, if the land is completely covered with water, what we do, we find some stone where there is some elevated position and we keep our step there and then we move forward so that we can reach our destination. So that a stone or an elevated position, it is helping us to move to the another position. Similarly, this Varnashrama is also a stepping stone, or it is like a staircase. You can just climb it and go to that particular place wherever you want to go. But it is not meant for making a permanent settlement in any Varna or Ashrama. No person should settle in any Varna or Ashrama. He should go, he should continue to move on. One cannot say that I will remain in one ashrama itself. That is not possible. The Varnashrama, as Prabhupada says here, as long as a person is attached, he has the attachment for this material world, he has to accept the Varnashrama dharma. Because based on the tendency of the person, he will be able to in any of this Varna or Ashrama. If a person is very much interested in learning or gaining the knowledge and living a sattvic, peaceful life, then he can act like a Brahmana. But a person who is very chivalrous, one who wants to fight for others, or one who wants to protect the Kshatriya, Kshatam Trayate iti Kshatriya, he can take up the Kshatriya business. Or one who is very much interested in making money, business, one who wants to earn more and more money, he can go for Vaishya. And one who has the service attitude, or one who wants to serve everyone else, then he can go for the Shudra life. And it is like a hierarchy. There are more Shudras, and less than Shudras are Vaishyas, and less than Vaishyas are the Kshatriyas, and Brahmanas are very little in number. This is always like that in the society. So Brahmanas are the intelligent category, they are less in number. Now, what is the perfection of this Varnashrama Dharma? Sansiddhir Haritoshanam. Whatever position we may be, wherever we may be, when we use that position for serving Krishna, then our being in that Varna or Ashrama is perfect. Otherwise, it will become like a animal society. Ahara nidra bhayametunam cha samanyametar pashubhirnaranam. Dharmo hi tesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhi samana. What if there is no Varna and Ashrama? This we can see in the certain countries where there is no opportunity for the children to go to the school because every time there is bombing, everywhere they are killing people, they're shooting. Nobody can move out of the house. There is no proper kshatriyas, there is no protection, and no business, and nothing to eat. So such a country which doesn't have varnashrama system, nobody can live a civilized life. So varnashrama will bring the civilization in the society. And using that civilized situation or opportunity, one should advance. Use that opportunity as a stepping stone towards Krishna. Whatever opportunity you have got, okay, you are a brahmachari, you are studying in the school or Gurukula, then you have to study the Vedas or whatever study you are having, do the study properly, and you make your life for your next ashrama or next wherever you are continuing. Like that, as you go on continuing, and if your goal of life is to serve Krishna, then your life, your being a human is complete. Otherwise, we just live like animals and we are like dying like a cats and dogs. But at the same time, varnashrama is not compulsory for everyone. There are certain people who can transcend it. One who has no attachment to this material world and one who has spontaneous attachment to the Lord, then he don't have to accept any of the varna and ashrama. Such people are very, very rare in society. They are great acharyas. They can directly go to the sannyas ashram, and at very early young age they take sannyas and they work for the welfare of entire world, and they become the acharyas, the guides. So that is what Prabhupada is telling here. One should execute the prescribed duties, varna and ashrama, as long as he is not developed spontaneous attachment for hearing about my pastimes, that is Krishna saying in Srimad Bhagavatam, and activities. All of these things are recommended for persons who have not developed Krishna consciousness. But if you are developing Krishna consciousness, you are already advanced in Krishna consciousness, then there is no need of following varna and ashrama. So what we can conclude from this, varna and ashrama is not a anga of bhakti. Varna and ashrama, the bhakti is independent of varna and ashrama. Siddharth Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Namo Namah. Varnashrama Dharma in Sadhana Bhakti. In fact, all such activities are recommended in the revealed scriptures only to bring one to the point of Krishna. To the point of Krishna consciousness. But one who has already developed spontaneous attachment for Krishna does not require to execute the duties prescribed in the scriptures. Nectar of Devotion, page 112. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. In the Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, when Narad Muni is instructing Vyasadeva for over elaborating the Chaturvida Purushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, then Narad Muni says that anyhow people are interested in all these things. Their tendency is to practice this Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Then why are you explaining it, or you are giving so much emphasis in all the scriptures again and again? So what you have to do? You have to write Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is Dharma Projita Kaitavotra Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam Vedyam Vastavamatra Vastu Shivadam Tapatrayon Moolanam. This Srimad Bhagavatam, it is Dharma Projita Kaitava. Kaitava Dharma means cheating religion. It is already completely given up. What is that? The practice of Dharma, which is not intended for serving Krishna or pleasing Krishna. Such Dharma are removed from Srimad Bhagavatam. And only those activities one has to perform which will end up in love of Godhead. That is Bhagavata Dharma. Savai pumso paro dharmo yatho bhaktir adhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. That is paro dharma. Paro dharma means all our dharmas are there. Being a person in the society, I have so many responsibilities. Being in the family, I have a responsibility. Being in job, I have some responsibility. Being a citizen, I have a responsibility. So wherever I am, whatever position I have taken, because of that, I have so many kinds of duties and responsibilities. But when it comes to the point of serving Krishna, one should give up all this dharma if it is becoming a obstruction in the service to Krishna. So what Narada Muni says, Tyaktva swadharmam charanambhujam hare bhajan napakkota patet tato yadi. Yatra. So what Narada Muni says is, if a person gives up the all dharma, the so-called material dharma, the duties and responsibilities for serving Krishna, if he comes to the perfection, it is wonderful. But if he doesn't come to the perfection, and if he falls down in between, then also there is no loss, because his attempt is perfect. But what is the benefit of a person who is perfectly performing all his material duties and responsibilities, but at the end, he doesn't get the love of Godhead? What is the purpose? It is just like a tree which lives for hundreds of years. What is the purpose? It is only growing taller, and taller, and one day it will fall down. So such a life, instead of having such a life, one must take to Krishna consciousness and practice Krishna consciousness. If you succeed, it is best. But even if you fail, there is no loss. Neha vikramana shosti pratyavayo na vidyate sulpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even little advancement in this path, one can achieve the perfection, either in this life or in the next life, or any one life in the future. But unless we try for it, there is no chance. So that is how a person has to make the best use of this bad bargain. Pooja Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Sagar Pranam. So far we are concerned, Krishna conscious, so long our bodily concept of life is not completely eradicated, we must follow the swadharma of the body, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra.
Continue.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. But when actually advanced, that is Mahabhagavata, we should not imitate that. But our process is the more we advance in Krishna consciousness, we become transcendental to this bodily concept of life. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Bhagavad Gita 2.31, London, September 1, 1973. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is how we should understand the importance of Varna and Ashrama, how far we should follow it, and when we can give it up. Next, coming to the Jnana and Vairagya in Bhakti, what is the why we should follow it, or why we should have it? Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Jnana Vairagya in Bhakti. Some scholars recommend that knowledge and renunciation are important factors for elevating oneself to devotional service, but actually that is not a fact.
Continue.
Actually, the cultivation of knowledge or renunciation, which are favorable for achieving a footing in Krishna consciousness, may be accepted in the beginning, but ultimately they may also come to be rejected. Nectar of Devotion, page 113. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So Varnashrama is not a part of the, and here Jnana and Vairagya, these are also not a part of Bhakti. The Jnana, the knowledge which helps in advancing in Krishna consciousness, Bhakti, it is needed, but it is not compulsory. A person, even though he doesn't have the capacity to read the scriptures, one who is not able to understand the scriptures, still one can have devotion to Krishna. The example, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met one Brahmana in the South India, he was holding the Bhagavad Gita, and everyone was laughing at him because he could not read Bhagavad Gita. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and asked him, what are you doing? He told, my spiritual master told me to read Bhagavad Gita, but I am not able to read it because I have not learned anything. So he was not properly holding the book also. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu observed him and asked him, why are you crying by seeing this book? Then he told, when I remember Krishna, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Arjuna is his servant. But in the Kurukshetra war, Krishna has taken such a menial position that he becomes the chariot driver of Arjuna. So by remembering that situation, tears are coming in my eyes. Because if you just imagine the richest person in the world, if you take, and can you convince him to become your car driver for one day? It is impossible. Or at least for him, his own driver, can he become a car driver? It is not possible. Forget about car driver, he cannot do any menial service. He will not do anything. But this is not one small tiny earth. He is the master of so many universes, and so many Brahmas are at his feet. We just cannot imagine, because when the things are too big or too small, we will not be able to perceive. So Krishna's position is such a big, and he is taking a small role in the Kurukshetra war. And again, he has to chastise Arjuna, he has to tell Bhagavad Gita to him. He has taken so much of effort only because he has love for his devotees. That's all. So by remembering this, he was crying. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, your understanding of Bhagavad Gita is perfect. You don't need anything more. So if a person has that feeling, then his understanding of Bhagavad Gita is perfect. Any person who serves the pure devotee of the Lord, he can get directly access to the pure devotion, the Prema Bhakti, even though the person has no personal qualification. Even if we see our own parampara, the spiritual master of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that is Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he had no material education. He did not even know how to write his own name. But he was a devotee, and he was a disciple of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and he was a spiritual master of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So this is possible. Even though the person is not having the jnana or knowledge, even though he has not developed the knowledge, just by serving the devotees, serving the Lord, being in the association of the Lord, learning the aspects of bhakti, one can come to the perfection of life. Somebody questioned in one of the class, we are doing all these Bhakti Shastri classes, and what is the necessity? Is it compulsory for all? Without learning all this, can't we come to devotion? So if it is compulsory for everyone to learn Bhakti Shastri to advance in Krishna consciousness, then what about those people who has no capacity to read and write and making these assignments, remembering the shlokas, or attending Zoom class, or going to residential classes at least for getting Bhakti Shastri, all these things? But the answer is, they don't need. For them, it is very easy. Those who have studied, they need it. Because we studied material knowledge, and unless you make the best use of that knowledge which you have learned, it will be used in the wrong direction. If you perform any Sankirtan program or Krishna conscious activities in a village, if you see how many people will come there, they have a lot of interest. They will join in so many numbers, and they will do a lot of services. They will take all the responsibilities of the function. But if you want to do that in the city, you have to do so much of publicity. You have to do WhatsApp messaging and put the hoardings. Even after doing all those, people will take away some half an hour from their busy schedule. They'll just come and visit, and little prasadam they'll take and they'll move on. So that is the difference between educated and uneducated. These educated people, they need all these activities. Even during his initiation period, one who has not learnt material knowledge, he will directly get the initiation. That he will ask some basic questions. But those who are learned, they have to write big essays. They have to, whatever they learned, they should know the points properly. So jnana is not a prerequisite for bhakti, but definitely jnana will help us to help for advancing in Krishna consciousness. It is needed because our bhakti is not jnana shunya. It is jnana karmadi anavritam. We should not have the impersonal tendency. The jnana, the positive side of jnana is it will enlighten us. It is like a light. When a person is in darkness, he will not be able to do anything. Either move to left or right, we don't know. If we walk in the dark, then we will fall down. But when there is light, we can easily see the path and take the right decision in life. So these are the benefits of knowledge or jnana. But at the same time, this knowledge has another side, that is, it will give detachment from this material world. And this detachment, if it is only for the material things, it is good. But when a person develops more and more knowledge, he may come to a position that he will give up everything. And he will consider the Lord is also an illusion. And there is no God. The God doesn't have form. And everything is, there is nothing. Finally, there is nothing. And I also have to become nothing. So such kind of knowledge is very dangerous. Instead of having such kind of knowledge, it is better to be in the ignorance. So jnana is not a part of bhakti or anga of bhakti, but it definitely helps. And even vairagya also. The vairagya, it makes our heart very hard. And we cannot understand Krishna with a hard heart. It is, we give up all the attachments, but giving up attachment requires a lot of effort. And because of that effort, the person becomes very hard-hearted. And with that hard heart, we cannot get that Krishna prema. Then what is the solution now? General tendency of every living entity is to engage in activities, perform certain activities with an intention of getting some profit, and when profit is coming, enjoy it. This is either human being or animals. Everyone is doing this. All our plans are like that. Even the animals, they do a lot of planning. The cat also knows how to steal the milk when there is nobody at home. So that effort it is putting because it gets the benefit of drinking the milk. So the tendency is to perform karma activity, and it is creating bondage. And developing knowledge, it is not very natural for us, but it is definitely giving the detachment. But even after getting the detachment, the person cannot come to the perfection of devotional service. So what is the solution? The solution is bhakti. The bhakti, it involves karma as well as jnana. When we perform karma activities and use the result of that activity for the pleasure of Krishna, then the bondage is not there. Whoever works for Krishna, he doesn't have the bondage. Just like a person, a soldier who is working for the government, even if he kills all other soldiers at the other opposite side, he will not be punished because he is just working on the behalf of the government. He is doing his duty. Similarly, when a devotee, he performs all the activities for serving the Lord, he doesn't have the reaction. So you can perform your activities according to your tendency. In whatever way you want to serve the Lord, you can do the service. But at the same time, there is no bondage. That is the beauty of Krishna consciousness.
Can you all hear Prabhuji?
No.
No, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
Then he is rejoining Mataji.
That's hanged.
Oh, he got logged out. He'll be back. He'll be back. Vijay Prabhuji has the Golok, the chart behind him. All of you can have a good look at it if you all wish to. He has a very beautiful altar also.
Okay, we'll see. Okay, yes. But we can't make out
This is the altar.
what is what. It is very small.
Yes.
The chart is very small.
Yes, Mataji.
I'm in Nathdwara. You can see in behind my back the photograph of Nathdwara.
Oh yes, above that light.
Above that light, no, that's a screen. Maybe I can show you the picture if you want.
Of course, of course.
Okay. It's all packed up. I don't know how I'll open it and get it back, but I'll still show you. Maybe Nathdwara wants me to show it to you people. Can you see it?
Yes. Mataji, I just went for 2 days back. I was there on Wednesday.
Nathdwara?
At Nathdwara, yes. I was on my way to Jodhpur to Udaipur. I went to
Okay.
Nathdwara, yes.
So beautiful.
Did you
Yes,
stay
yes.
here? How many days did you stay here?
I was there. We just took darshan, Mataji. We were there for 2 hours.
Okay, I'm here for 3 days. We went to Dwarkadhish and because it is all Pushti Marg Sampradaya, no? Because
Okay.
Madhavendra Puri was initially the servitor of this Vigraha, which passed on to the Pushti Marg Sampradaya. And so ISKCON Gaudiya Mutt people also come because this deity was worshipped earlier by the Madhavendra Puri, which is in the parampara of Gaudiya Sampradaya. So they also come here.
And then
So
it is
this
given to
is
Vallabhacharya, na?
Vallabhacharya is the Sampradaya. It was started by their Mahaprabhu. Then his son is Vitthal. And yeah, this is a Pushti Marg Vallabhacharya Sampradaya. That's right.
320 years back, they said, yes. So they
Yes,
have that place on.
Yeah, when Aurangzeb was going to destroy this,
Yes.
this was with Madhavendra Puri. Then it
Yes.
somehow went to the Mahaprabhu, which is their founder, Acharya. Then his son, Vitthal. So it is the Ambanis are the trustees of the place.
And that pastime you heard, na Mataji, Aurangzeb pastime?
Yeah,
In the beard, the stone was, yes. The
You
gem
can
is
tell
there.
us.
Yes.
This one. This is the stone.
Yes. It is by Aurangzeb.
Yeah, it is by Aurangzeb. I went since morning I've been going for every darshan. I missed the that Gwal darshan. I went for Mangla, then Shingar. Gwal I missed, then I went for Rajbhog. Then
We
the
went
4
there.
o'clock
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, you went for which one? You went for
No,
which
we
one?
were in the evening, Mataji, evening bhog. It was that Utthapan, na? Utthapan.
Okay, Utthapan I missed today. But
Yes.
that Jhulan is there, no? Today was Jhulan.
Oh, acha.
So that was after Utthapan. There is a holda. These people Gujaratis call it holda, whatever. Jhula is
Holda.
called a
Okay.
huda, whatever it is. I
Hoda.
don't know.
Okay.
I went there, but it was VIP. So So I was in the general line today. I also bought the ticket once for the VIP, but today there were super VIPs.
Oh, acha.
So the general category, the women were very, brave. They said after waiting, they also got tired. The Gujarati women are very enterprising. They started shouting, "Ye VIP ko bhagao, lat maro, hamara bari kab aayega?"
And Mataji, the system over there, you saw that. So in the bar, how we have to go, Mataji. When for the
Yeah,
darshan, Laddu Gopal darshan was clear, but for the Srinath ji darshan, you have to go
yeah.
that bar, now you have to cross that. The system is something serious.
Barricading.
हाँ, वो
Barricading.
बैरिकेडिंग नहीं है, वो नीचे से जाना पड़ता है, उसको अंदर से वो नीचे से बेंड होके जाना पड़ता है. They were just pushing everybody. It was first day on Adhik Maas, na? Purushottam Maas first day, na?
No, I don't know. Adhik Maas is 18th July it started.
हाँ, उसी दिन हम लोग थे उधर 18 जुलाई को.
No, but now they don't have that underground jana padta hai. There is no such
नहीं,
system.
अंडरग्राउंड नहीं,
हाँ.
वो बार ही थे माता जी, वो बार के नीचे से कुछ हो रहे. हाँ, तो काफी
नहीं,
भीड़ थी ना, इसलिए आपको नहीं
नहीं,
मिला
नहीं,
ऐसे, तो मालूम
नहीं.
नहीं. उन्होंने दर्शन तो दिया. Because he
हाँ.
took us the tour, ना, पूरा टेम्पल टूर we did, ना. He gave us
अच्छा,
all
आपने
the information.
VIP पास ले लिया ना?
हाँ, तो उन्होंने वो टूर दिया. And then for
हाँ.
सब, yeah, he showed us all the bhog and all those places, ना, pool का
अच्छा,
place and everything.
अंदर जो जहाँ पे वो बनता है
हाँ,
भोगा.
सब अंतर, yes, everything.
You took that VIP pass 350 rupees वाला.
हाँ. उन्होंने कुछ बोला था बुक भी कर सकते हैं, but then we were there, तो हमने बोला अगर पूरा टेम्पल में if we are able to, then we took that. Otherwise वो काफी थी उस दिन, भीड़ काफी थी.
What can you book?
नहीं, it wasn't there, but then they said online also you can book. Some sites, some उधर जाके also you can book. We didn't do that. We gave it to that Guruji only. He said you can give us dakshina and.
No, that is only 350 rupees. That's a legal tender. You get a ticket
legal.
of that.
Oh, okay.
That is legal. You can either online take it or you can buy it from here.
Yeah,
There is a
वो वहाँ पे ही
computer.
किया हमने. Yeah, we bought it there. Yes.
हाँ, वो अगर पहले लिया हो तो भी क्या है, physically तो you will move with the, if you are present only, no?
Yes.
Even VIP line भी इतनी बड़ी थी. It is only for super VIPs. The things are different.
ये क्या super VIPs wasn't there, but yeah, I know something great, ना.
हाँ. Super double VIPs. So these women were calling, बहुत हो गया ये VIP का, इनको हटाओ अब. जोर से बोल रही थी, बहुत हो गया, हम आम आदमी हैं, डबल VIPs को छोड़ो अब.
It shouldn't be, ना. It shouldn't be that.
नहीं, ठीक है. They also realize these Gujarati women are very business में savvy. देखो तो क्या हुआ, पूरा मंदिर तो अंबानी चला रहा है ना, तो अगर हम what is wrong? They are trustees and the VIPs, those who are coming, they also support the temple only, no? So what is wrong in it? They don't mind.
Yeah.
I also didn't mind because it was I got good darshan in general line also. So I went for sometimes senior citizen line also, though I'm not a senior citizen, but they said okay, you're looking senior citizen at least. So that was okay.
So अभी आप हो वहाँ पे ही?
हाँ, अभी मैं यहीं हूँ.
Be there for 2 more days or?
No, tomorrow I'll go back.
अच्छा.
Tomorrow
it's only Nathadwara you are doing?
हाँ.
Only Nathadwara or?
Yeah, only Nathdwara. We went to Dwarkadish, their head office, the Pushti Marg head office. It is Kakrola. It's 40 kilometers from here.
Okay.
So there we went, and it was nice temple and lot of shops were there. They were selling the fabric so cheaply. In fact, the suit I was wearing, the person said he's manufactured, and he even showed me the poster of the same suit and said, "This is my manufacturing," and I sold it for. He said 800 rupees, and I had got it from Meena Bazaar for 3,200 rupees. So he said, the photograph also everybody recognized. Yeah, this is the same suit that I am wearing. Just hold on.
In the meantime, I think Siddharth Prabhu wants to tell us about Mayapur. Anyone wants to hear about Mayapur? You can unmute and say all right, otherwise no. Siddharth Prabhu will understand.
Who went to Mayapur?
Please, Siddharth Prabhu.
Anybody wants to listen or no?
Yeah,
Yes, Mataji, we can definitely.
Of course.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhuji and Mataji.
Hare Krishna. No, it was a magical trip. It happened all on a sudden. I mean, it all happened. I mean, I can't explain how it has happened. So perhaps I'll not be able to articulate. So just maybe I'll say something which is not normal. So suddenly I started, and then I got a contact. Prabhuji is there. So I don't know Prabhuji. So I just called. Then he said, okay, fine, you can come. So then he asked me that, but do I know you? I said, no, I don't know you. Neither you know me. Okay, fine, never mind. You come. So in fact, that later on, I came to know that actually, there was a lot of rush there, and no booking was there, but it was booked. And I simply rode. I mean, I had driven my vehicle with my wife, and we went there. Just, depending on the Google, I didn't know even the Kolkata city fully well. What has happened was, it went to a point where it was just about some 4 kilometers. It was showing 4 kilometers to Mayapur. And then some people said, okay, this is the way. They said, no, this is not the way. Now you are going towards the river. So you will go by the boat. Then your vehicle will be also loaded to a boat. Then you will go. Then we said, no. And that area also looks very, very murky. And, then we said, Krishna, please help, what to do. Then I think someone came out and said, okay, fine. If you go by road also, then another 20-25 kilometers. If you go this way, that way, then you can get it. Later on, we passed through that. There is a one place, common place, which is called Krishnagar. And Krishnagar is a very famous place. And that's the point where actually the new road is going to Mayapur. In fact, after reaching Mayapur, I think you would have heard from others also that once you look at Krishna and the entire deity, it is like you can't just take out your eye for some time. Maybe you'll get mesmerized absolutely. So that was really, really ultimate. And then, of course, there you have the darshan of, before that you have the darshan of Pancha Tattva. Then you have the darshan of Krishna along with gopis. So there is a special darshan. And there are food facilities are really, really good. I mean, you can book, and along with so many people, I mean, we can have the prasadam. And if it is too late, of course, it has to be done in the right time, because everything has to be served in time. So if it is not booked in time, then you might miss it. So that's something important. But the point is, once you go there, it is very difficult to come back. My wife was saying that, okay, fine, now perhaps it's time to go. Then I said, okay, fine, let's go. And the energy level of that place is so much. Believe me, that I couldn't sleep. I mean, even my wife also could not sleep. I don't know what has happened. So the energy level is really, really, really very high. And you can feel that. You can feel that. And later on, when I came back, nothing. I mean, everything was normal. Like, we came home and slept well. But there, it can't. And then, of course, if you have more time, then you can have, and all arrange as if something has arranged. Some Toto is there. Some Ganga Arati is. I mean, again, it's ethereal. Ganga Arati is really, really ethereal. Wonderful. Even there is a place to take bath. and even some of the devotees were taking bath. So two things can happen. You can have a Ganga, but then point is that the Ganga, if you are attending Ganga Arati, then you cannot attend the Krishna Arati. So you have to choose because the timings are same. So that means you need at least 2 days minimum to have all kinds of activities to see Ganga Arati, to see all the places, birthplaces of Chaitanya, Deva, birthplaces, all places. There is a beautiful Jagannath temple. I mean, the place is like you can have the vibe the moment you enter. I think that's all from my side. Hare Krishna. Perhaps I could not articulate still properly. I cannot. It's something I cannot. I'm sorry. I think Prabhuji have come. I didn't realize even. I'm so sorry. It was just going.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. We heard about Nathdwara and Mayapur Yatra.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you, Siddharth Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the disturbance. There is some problem with the internet. After rain, one or the other problems are there every day. Yeah. Okay, let us continue our discussion.
Prabhuji, you can have darshan of Srinathji.
Yes, Mataji.
You can have darshan of Srinathji.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You are showing. Okay, just a minute. Show once again, I think. I try to spotlight.
Prabhu, your bandwidth is showing very low. So maybe we are hearing a lag in your voice.
Yeah, that's because of mobile network.
And I think the YouTube is on, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Should I share it, Prabhu, the screen?
Is it not visible what I'm sharing now?
Not to me, Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji, nothing is visible.
Okay, Mataji, you can share. Yeah.
I'll try, Prabhu. It was just 1 minute, Prabhu.
Yes.
Oh, now it is coming, Prabhu. 1 minute, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Is it visible, Mataji's and Prabhuji's?
Yes. You can go to that slide which we were discussing about.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So Jnana and Vairagya, they are not the Anga of Bhakti. Yeah. Next slide, Mataji.
After this, Prabhu?
Yeah, next one, yes. Yeah. Next comes the Yukta Vairagya. What is the real Vairagya means, which leads to the Krishna consciousness. That is, Srila Rupa Goswami then recommends that one should not be attached to material sense enjoyment, but should accept everything enjoyable which is in relationship to Krishna. So whatever we can accept in Krishna service should be accepted, and what is not used in the service of Krishna should be rejected. That is called Yukta Vairagya. Next slide, Mataji. Continue. Yeah, this is the shloka. Anasaktasya vishayan yatamupayunjata nirbandha krishna sambandhe yukta vairagya muchyate. One is not attached to anything, but at the same time accepts everything in relation to Krishna. One is rightly situated above wholesomeness. Yeah. Next, Mataji. Yeah, Pooja Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yukta Vairagya, the impersonalists who try to avoid everything material may undergo severe austerities, but they miss the opportunity of being engaged in the service of the Lord. Thus, their renunciation is not sufficient for perfection. Nectar of Devotion, page 115. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Next one. Next slide. This is a group exercise. It is called Panchanga Bhakti, where we practice the 5 types of Bhakti, that is, which is explained already. It was a activity. So explain the importance of your given item. So among 5, you have to choose any 1 or 2. Give reference to the statements of Nectar of Devotion and select a group member to present. So now presently there are 10 people. So let us make 2 groups itself. Next slide, Mataji. So these are the 5 things: worshipping the deity, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, serving a devotee, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, residing in Mathura. So shall we make 3 plus 2? Because there are 5. So first 3 will be one group, first group, and last 2 will be second group. I think that will be fine. So let us make 2 groups. Yeah, 2 groups. You have 5 minutes for discussion and 2 minutes for presentation. Your time starts now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, you can stop the sharing.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Let Siddharth Prabhu start the.
Prabhu, we are the last 2 points. Anu Mataji is the first 3.
Yes.
Okay, okay, fine. Anu Mataji, you can start.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'll do the 2 points and Akhila Mataji will do hearing Srimad Bhagavatam point.
Okay.
This is worship of deity. Now, worship of deity, when we do, I'll give my personal example of Natwara. I got up in the morning, it was raining. I went for Mangla. Then I went for Shringar. I missed the Bal, but I went for Rajbhog at 11. Then I missed the Uthapan, but I saw the Honda, that is a Jhula festival is there. So the whole day I saw Lord holding Govardhan on his fingertip, and it is a Vigraha which was served by Madhavendra Puri in Gaudiya Sampradaya, and it passed on to Vallabhacharya, and his son Vitthal took with it. That's a parampara of the Mahaprabhu, the Vallabha Pushti Sampradaya. So the whole day my activities revolved around going and visiting. And I actually have never seen a Vigraha so clearly in my life. Like in Vrindavan also, I was never able to make out Bake Bihari or anybody. But here, the whole day, because I was spent in just going and seeing, asking that Krishna, 7-year-old Krishna, as he protected the Brajvasis, he will protect me also and my family and my friends also. So that was a very beautiful experience, and that imprint is in my heart. So the whole day it was like that. So I can say that even if it is an imaginary past Leela or a real past Leela, I don't know. But for me, the whole day, going, visiting, coming back, going, visiting, coming back. And tomorrow also I'll do the same thing before I leave. So the whole day, 7-year-old Krishna became a person for me, lifting the Govardhan on the tip of his finger. So that's all I can say for me today. Krishna was a person. And when you do that, when you serve Lord in such a manner, or you believe him to be such a person, I'm being very selfish, it fills your heart with lot of pleasure. That is about worship of deity. Then serving a devotee, I believe when you want to be friends with somebody, you see who he is closest to or she is closest to. Even if somebody is very close to his dog, if you say your dog I don't like, so you're never going to get in good books with that person. Or you say your wife is very fat or your husband is very fat. So if you want to get close to any person, you have to search who that person is closest to, whom he loves beyond anything in the world. So Krishna loves his pure devotees. So if you get close to his pure devotees, naturally you will attract Krishna's attention and he will have mercy on you. That's all, Prabhuji. Akhila Mataji will conclude with Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Akhila Mataji, you can unmute.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Your voice is low, Mataji.
What about now, right? Right now?
No,
Okay.
Mataji, you have to speak a little louder. Sorry.
Is it? Okay, okay. Now how it is? Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Now it's fine. Your device has some problem.
Yeah.
Then when you correct, it will be all right.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, now it's fine.
See, Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, it's an aggregate of all knowledge, everything. And like here it is comparison given like ripened mango fruit. And the ripened mango fruit, it will be more tastier when it is touched by the beak of a parrot. So Srimad Bhagavatam, like it has even I have seen before doing this some our Swamiji's to tell, even the person who is Pretatma in the sense the person who not having Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira will be there. Like the person will be roaming, no aimless roaming. Even Pretatma will also get liberated by listening Srimad Bhagavatam itself. And based on that, we get various stories. Then even here, like he has given this Sukadev Goswami's story as well. Because earlier he was influenced to Advaita system, Advaita system, impersonal system. Like he don't want to be a great devotee. He thought that everything is Maya, everything he wants everything to live. But finally, after listening Srimad Bhagavatam, he became the devotee. That's all the question.
Hare Krishna. Mataji. There is slight difference between whatever Shukadeva Goswami. He was an impersonalist. It means that the Lord has no form.
Yeah.
Advaita. Advaita means there is no difference between Jiva and the Lord.
Yeah, yes, sure.
There is no, he did not made the equal between Jiva and Jivatma and Paramatma. That is Advaita. But Nirakara means there is no form for the Lord. The formlessness is an aspect of the Lord. So that is very small difference. It is not Mayavada also what he was speaking. Yeah.
Aham Brahmasmi, that is Advaita, right? Prabhuji?
Aham Brahmasmi is also Dvaita also.
Dvaita.
Because Aham Param Brahmasmi means
Parabrahma.
Yeah, Parabrahma, Brahma, there is difference. So again it becomes Dvaita. Thank you, Mr. Hare Krishna. Siddharth Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Our team has 2 points, chanting Mahamantra and residing in Mathura. So we have Vijay Prabhuji, Surendranath Prabhuji, Nandita Mataji and Puja Mataji. They will add after this. First is Mahamantra. Whatever we say until now we have heard, there is no difference. There is absolutely no difference between name, fame and the pastimes of Krishna. Krishna's name is same as himself, and only a pure devotee can understand this and understand this very well. It is also said in Kali Santaran Upanishad, yes, that's what I remember, is that Harer Nama hi Kevalam, Kalau Nasti, Nastyaiva Gatiranyatha. 3 times Nasti is there, I think, which proves that name is most important. Sometimes name becomes even more important than himself. And then one example which is given here is Narada, who always sings the glories of Krishna. People who are devotees can, through the Nama, they are able to hear the strings of Veena of Narada and have the vibration of Krishna. And that's the power of the name. And as far as power of the name is concerned, I think there are thousands of examples. How by chanting Hare Krishna, how by chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, how by chanting all various devotees got the direct presence of Lord Krishna. This is on the chanting. Other members will add after this. Next is about Mathura and Vrindavan. That's, of course, I have my personal experience on that. Like I was just talking about Mayapur. Any such place is so powerful and so much energized with the Lord's presence. I think Mathura is the only place and Vrindavan is the only place where in only one particular yuga it has happened that Krishna and his bhaktas were together with having such beautiful pastimes, which is not there in any of the yuga, which is not there anywhere. So the moment we talk about Mathura or Vrindavana, it means every leaf, every stone, river, water, where everywhere there is you can have the presence of Lord Krishna, where he has, sang his flute, where he has touched the water, everything. So that's what Rupa Rupa Goswami is saying that that's transcendental realization and bliss. You can, even a non-devotee can have that kind of vibe and energy in a place. So that's coming under the Sthana Mahatmya and Nama Mahatmya that we are talking about. Hare Krishna. Over to our team members. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Anybody else?
Vijay Prabhuji, Surendra Prabhuji, Nanta Mataji, Puja Mataji, if you can add, kindly add.
Puja Mataji, you can start.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I can just add up. Already Prabhuji has covered the points. I'll just say a few things about chanting, Prabhuji, where it says that the chanting is, there is no difference between the holy name of the Lord. The Padma Purana itself describes there is no difference in the holy name of the Lord and the Lord himself. As such, the holy name is as perfect as the Lord himself in the fullness, purity, and eternity. Because as it's been said, and as Prabhuji has mentioned, that Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Kevalam, Kalau Nasti Eva Nasti Eva Gatira Anyatha. So as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this holy name and this Mahamantra to us, it is the only way to get completely purified. And so the holy name is not only the material vibration, it has the material, it has no material contamination. It cannot therefore be chanted offenselessly, but one who has failed to purify his senses, who can actually chant about the holy name. And in other words, it's been given that materialistic senses cannot properly chant the holy names of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but by adopting this chanting process, one is given a chance to actually purify himself, and that he may be very soon chant offenselessly. So this is how the chanting actually proves, and it is the only way to get this to this Kali Yuga. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this Hare Krishna Mahamantra to get the way to this Kali Yuga and to way to the God's Dham, Paramadham. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, Nandita Mataji, you can continue the sharing.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Very few slides are remaining. Anybody would like to read? You can raise your hand. Yeah, Anu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Panchanga Bhakti. The power of these 5 principles. The slide is not there.
Yeah,
Mataji.
sorry. Prabhu, I went ahead or behind?
One back.
Just 1 minute, Prabhu. Sorry. I'm sorry, Mataji.
No problem.
This one.
Panchanga Bhakti. The power of these 5 principles is very wonderful and difficult to understand. Even without faith in them, a person who is offenseless can awaken his dormant love of Krishna simply by being a little connected with them. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 1.2.238. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. If we see our activities in ISKCON, what Prabhupada has mentioned from morning till evening, it covers all these Panchanga Bhakti. This is given in Srimad Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 22nd chapter, 128 sloka. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan, Bhagavata Shravan, Mathura Vasa Shri Murtira, Shraddhaya Sevan. So when we are in temple, we get the Sadhu Sangha, the association of devotees. And in association, we do the Nama Kirtan, Sankirtan. And every day there is Bhagavata classes going on. And living in the temple and living in Vrindavan, there is no difference. Wherever there is Lord, that is Vrindavan. And Sri Murtira, Shraddhaya Sevan. There is deity worship in every ISKCON temple. So this is how Srila Prabhupada has given us the opportunity to perform Panchanga Bhakti. By performing Panchanga Bhakti, one can knowingly or unknowingly performing, a person can advance in Krishna consciousness. Yeah, you can change the slide, Mataji. So with this, we have come to the conclusion of, go to previous one. One slide back. Yeah, that's one. Let it be there. So we have reviewed the 64 items of Sadhana Bhakti. and we have seen them one by one. Now discuss the importance of 5 important forms of devotional service. Now, after learning all the 64 items, if somebody asks, how can I remember all these 64 and perform? For them, this is the 5 items which we have to remember and perform, and others are details. It may not be possible to perform all the items. So in the Navavida Bhakti, if we can perform 1 or 2 or 3 or all of them, so at least performing 1 also will give us a lot of advancement in Krishna consciousness. Similarly, this Panchanga Bhakti also, performing in any one Bhakti also, 1 item also, it will give us a lot of benefit. And Jnana Vairagya and Varnashrama Dharma, they are not part of, they are not Anga of Bhakti. It is not a prerequisite for having those things for performing devotional service. And then discuss the aspects of Srila Prabhupada's mission, reflecting the principles of Yukta Vairagya. Yeah. Move Mataji. Next one. Puja Mataji, you can read.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. One should therefore be encouraged to develop this service, his service attitude toward the Lord, because this will help him to chant without any offense. And so, under the guidance of spiritual master, the disciple is trained to render service and at the same time chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Continue. Next one, Mataji. Slide. Yeah, last.
As soon as one develops his spontaneous service attitude, he can immediately understand the transcendental nature of the holy names of the Mahamantra. Nectar of Devotion, page 108. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So with this, we have come to the conclusion of today's session. And also the conclusion of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, 64 items. And next class onwards, we are starting with the Raganga Sadhana Bhakti. That is the next part of this lesson. If anybody has any questions in today's session, they can raise their hand and ask the question. I'm very sorry for the internet problem because of the rain and so many other problems. Anu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, residing in Mathura is equal to residing in Vrindavan?
Yes, Mataji. Vrindavan is within Mathura only, no? Mathura district.
So even if you stay in Mathura, it is all right?
Definitely, wherever Lord is worshipped. You see, this concept is like everyone should live in Vrindavan, means one should make the place wherever he is staying as Mathura or Vrindavana by worshipping the Lord. Wherever worship of the Lord is taking place, that is Vrindavana. So Prabhupada left Vrindavana to make everywhere Vrindavana. He took Vrindavana everywhere, wherever he went. So what does it mean? Vrindavana is the place where Krishna, Lord Krishna is worshipped. It is not recommended for everyone to go and stay in the Dhama. Wherever one he is, he has to serve the Lord. He has to preach the mission of the Lord. One has to participate in the preaching and be wherever you are and practice Krishna consciousness. That is Vrindavana. One should mentally live in Vrindavana. If you are fortunate, you can go and live in Vrindavana, but that is not the aspiring thing to live in Vrindavana, all the people. That is not recommended.
Prabhuji, second question, you said Bhagavad Dharma.
Yeah.
Bhagavad Dharma.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, Pancharatra Vidhi and Bhagavat Vidhi.
Yeah.
What are these?
Yeah. Pancharatra is how to worship the deity. Bhagavata Vidhi is reading Bhagavatam, chanting Hare Krishna and performing Sankirtan, all these things. In these like 2 tracks, just like a train, if you want to move, it has 2 tracks. So we have to perform both. We should perform the deity worship. Also, we should read Bhagavatam. But the rules and regulations are different. If you are not in a clean position, if you are not taken bath, or if you are traveling, you cannot do deity worship. But these things, these rules doesn't apply for Bhagavad Dharma. You have to do chanting, you have to read Bhagavatam, you have to hear the classes in whatever condition you may be, whether you are diseased or you are healthy or taken bath or not taken bath, it doesn't matter. You must do this. That is Bhagavat Vidhi. And Bhagavat Vidhi should be given the first preference, and Pancharatra should be given second preference when they overlap. Otherwise, both should be followed parallelly.
Yes,
Thank
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, third question also.
Yeah.
I think I missed Navada Bhakti. I've forgotten what is it.
Navada Bhakti means Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam.
Thank you, Prabhu.
And
Thank you.
there are devotees who are given the examples for this. The Shravanam,
Yes.
is, that you must be knowing. Yeah.
Yes,
Siddharth,
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Just a small query. You have, I think, one shloka you have said, Yana Tena Prakarana. What is the full one?
Yena Kena Prakarena Mana Krishna Niveshayet.
Yana Kena Prakarana Manaha Krishna Niveshayet.
There is one more. Smartavyam Satatam Krishna Vismartavyam Na Jatuchit Sarva Vidhi Nishedasyur Etayoreva Kinkaraha.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Okay, if there are no more questions, then we'll stop for today. Let us continue the Raganuga Bhakti, that is in lesson number 9 in the next class. So 2 more lessons are remaining, 9 and 10 for completing the Nectar of Devotion. I thank all the devotees for coming to the session and actively participating in the discussion. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patyanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavavrinda ki jai. Namacharya Thakur ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to all devotees.
Thank you so much.
Nandita, you can stop. Oh, it is with